Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Biomechanics series. Today, we're going to take a look at the neck. All right, so following up from the back, which we did last week, we'll take a look at the neck and how it moves and functions, and the causes of major pain as well. All right, so just to recap, you've got seven cervical vertebrae. All right. Your C1 or your first cervical vertebrae is your atlas. Below that is your axis. All right, the atlas supports most of your head, and then you got two, three, four. Three, four, five, six, and then seven is the most prominent one. All right. So if you bring your neck forward into flexion, the seventh vertebrae would be the one that's protruding the most. Okay, the back here. Now, going through the movements of the neck. All right, so just to recap, the neck can flex, so nodding forward. It can extend, so nodding up. It can rotate sideways or looking over the shoulders. It can side flex or lateral flex, bringing your ear to shoulder. Also it can protract, so bringing your chin forward like a pigeon or protruding, and it can retract. All right, so giving yourself a double chin, pulling your neck back like this. Okay, now the major muscles the involved in in extension and side flexion, extension and side flexion is the sternocleidomastoid, and then we have the splenus capitis and splenus cervicus, which we just touched on when we did the muscles at the back that helps with rotation. All right. When we did the muscles, we also looked at the scalenes muscles, the anterior, mid, and posterior scalenes, which helps with assists in breathing, elevating and depressing the ribs or making the ribs move during breathing. And then also we looked at your supra and infrahyoid groups, all right, and that moves the jaw and helps with elevation and depression of that mandible as well, all right, as well as mastication, which is chewing, all right. Okay, so those are the muscles and the nut cell. Now, normally the most usually you will see in people with which were involved in road traffic accidents or motor vehicle accidents, as it's called in some areas of the words, normally abbreviated RTA or MVA. I think motor vehicle accidents is more American, and the rest of the world use RTA or road traffic accident. You will find that a lot of people suffer from a whiplash, which is an excessive forward flexion and extension. All right. Normally, what happens? Nerves get pinched. Normally, the accessory nerves are C2 and 3, so cervical 2 and 3, and that can lead to servogenic headaches. All right, um, which is a chronic headache that sometimes can move depending where the nerves are pinched. All right, so that's a little bit more on pain, and usually the type of pain uh, most physiotherapists would encounter at the clinic. All right, so your whiplash. All right, now we will take a look also now at tying those biomechanics into exercises, which you can do seated when you are working or at the office, or just generally if you're on a plane traveling, you can do these. All right, they are very, very good in strengthening as well as lengthening the neck. Again, I am a big fan of that reciprocal addition. When you strengthen one area, you lengthen the opposing area. Okay, so first things first, my chair does not have a backside, but we'll pretend it does. All right, so what you can do at work is you can just loosen up the neck, which will be forward flexion and extension. So we'll do 10 together. 1, 2, nice and controlled, don't move too fast. 3, only go as far as your mobility allows. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, number 9, and 10. All right, now looking straight ahead, you're going to look over your shoulders. Over your shoulder. Okay, 1, other side. 2, left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then what we will do is ear to shoulder. And then opposite, that's 1. 2, nice and gentle, only go as far as your mobility allows. 3, you might just come to here, that's fine. 4, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can do these throughout the day as you loosen up. Now, another important one that I want to cover, there's 2 actually, it's the scalenes. For this one, you want to look up, keep the jaw closed, not clenched, and you're going to move your nose from side to side. All right. If you want to employ a static stretch on it, you can grab the skin here just above the clavicle or collarbone, pull that down, look, turn your head slightly 45 to the side, and then lift the chin up, and you'll feel them stretch right here. And you can do that on the opposing side as well. But let's loosen them up first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, all of these flexion, extension, rotation, and side flexion can be held isometrically, statically in a stretch, and also dynamically. The static part you usually do in the end, and the dynamic part you do earlier. Okay, and then another important one I want to cover is retraction of the head. So think of pulling your head back and then slightly bring it back to where it was. Back and back to where it was. Okay, that is just for a lot of us because of that kyphotic posture behind the desk typing. We get that protrusion I was talking about, for instance. The head becomes permanently forwardly retracted, and that can lead to a lot of neck pain as well as servogenic headaches, what we discussed earlier. All right. So that we'll do the retraction together. We'll do 1. Just observe. I'll show you from the side as well. 2, 3. Think of reaching with the back of the head. 4, 5. Good. 6, 7. Well done. 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now, what you can do is you can use your palms. If you're working in an office space where there's a lot of people around, these might look a little funny, but if you have your own office, you can practice these. So you can look up to the ceiling, and then you can push down with your chin and resist with your fingers below it. You can also use your palms. The same can be done isometrically for rotation to strengthen the neck, and then obviously the same can be done for extension, just pushing with the back of the skulls, interlacing the fingertips. All right, don't do this like you do with your standard crunches. That's not going to work. So you want to resist opening your elbows and not shrugging too much. All right, so you can do those isometrically. And then obviously these warm-up movements we did can be done in static stretches as well. So you can do the scalings which we discussed. And then also you can grab the back of the chair, hold the back side of the chair and look over the shoulder for rotation, and then also assist with your other hand for side flexion. And you can do the same on the other side. Now these muscles are pretty small, all right, so the stretches don't need to be held for that long. It is better to do small chunks throughout the day. So early morning when you get to the office, you can do the warm-up, the mobility ones, the dynamic ones. Then you can work on your isometric holds, and then later on before the day ends you can work on your stretches, obviously grabbing the backside of your chair and scalene stretches to keep that loose. And also the scalene stretch is very important to prevent your head from protracting. And then obviously you can also stretch your chin towards your chest with assistance of your hands. Don't confuse it for this one. That's the isometric hold against palms of your hands. Okay, everyone, I really hope that that helped and that it was informative. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat box. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. And don't forget, I have a webinar on the neck this afternoon, Singaporean time, um, between 4 o'clock and 5:30, and please sign in and sign up. Look forward to seeing you there. Have a lovely day.
Hi Reynolds, there's one question. There's one participant asked if the exercise causes the numbness, tingling in the thumbs, what should they do?
They should actually come to the clinic and let us do a thorough assessment and see what is causing the nerves to pinch to to send that numbness or tingling feeling radiating down the spine. Sometimes it can be because of slight kyphotic posture when you're working, which is mostly all of us actually nowadays, because we live in a very flexion dominant culture. I hope this helps.
And should they stop the exercises or they have to continue?
They can do the mobility ones, the warm up ones,
And they feel this one numbness?
um, but do not go as far as only go as far as your mobility allows. Do not force yourself. Start small, but better to come and see a physio first to come and assess the neck.
I think that's all for today, the questions. And I
Okay.
hope, yeah.
All right, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a lovely day.